Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Red and White Show. Joining me for this one, Rovers first team transition coach Paul Green and Club Doncaster media manager Liam Holden. Greenie, welcome to the show. First of all, you've been in the role for a good few weeks now. How have you found it working with Danny Schofield and Chad Gribble?
Yeah, I've loved it. Obviously, transitioning from a player to the first team coaching staff, it's been great. Learning every day off two top coaches in the gaffer and Chad, and obviously my expertise in playing at a good level for so many years. So the dynamic really works.
How have you found it moving into what was a familiar-ish environment, wasn't it? But albeit a new one to go into on a full-time basis.
Yeah, it's been great for me. Obviously, it was coming to an end. Obviously, my career playing football, and that's a transition I wanted to do. Go into coaching, and to get the opportunity to work under the gaffer and Chad's, it's been great. And obviously, the transition coach helping the young lads to develop. It's a key role that I've got in place.
When any player retires and hangs up the boots for good, I suppose the one thing they can miss is that camaraderie, isn't it? The banter around the dressing room. But with you going straight into this role, I suppose you haven't really had that, have you? You're still within one and still getting around the lads on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, the role that I'm taking up, the transition coach, is in helping the youngsters to develop as players. And obviously, I'm a big part of that, along with the coaching staff. But obviously on game day you still get that buzz from winning games, and I still get that as a coach, and that's a big part of it. And like I say, yeah, it's that opportunity to help the young lads, which is a big part of my role.
Liam, Danny and James Coppinger have both spoken, haven't they, about having those three coaches, particularly with the way that Danny wants his teams to play. Every member of the squad needs to feel that they're focused on it and have their sort of pound of flesh worth of coaching, and you can see it has made a difference in the last couple of months.
You certainly can, and just watching training you can see everything that's going off in terms of you've got players working on an individual basis as part of those team units and as a collective as well, and having the three coaches, they're able to take a group themselves, and then once everybody kind of finish that, come back together and work on things as a collective, then that's fantastic. And I think we have seen the benefits of that. It's been really interesting to watch it from our window down at the training ground, and I think we're seeing the big difference that it's making. How
interesting is it within meetings, Greenie, because you've got yourself, Danny and Chad, but then you've also got sort of Ryan, the analysis, and people within the backroom staff there, and I suppose you've all got to be able to throw your opinions on the table, haven't you, and have them heard?
And that's what's good about the group, and the coaching staff and people behind the scenes. Everyone's got opinions, and like I say, it's a good group, and we all come together. We all get us points across, and at the end of the day, it's the gaffer's decision. But it's always nice to get your opinion across to him and show him your thoughts as well.
Have you noticed that appreciation among the lads, the fact that because there's three coaches, everybody is getting what they need? Even the lads who maybe aren't getting as many minutes are still having that individual time to try and improve, so that when they do get called upon, they're ready to go on a match day.
Definitely. Obviously, we've all been assigned players as well, so we all give detailed information. So we're looking back at training every day and feeding back to the players the individual clips where they can improve and get better, and that's a big focus for us. We want to improve the players, so we get the best out of them and get the best for the team Doncaster.
Now, Danny Schofield's 3 January editions have all been in training this week, as they've had to adapt their plans once again due to the cold weather. Liam, 3 new signings through the door today. Of course, Todd had to wait a little bit longer for his debut. He got geared up to go at Crawley and then had to probably spend a bit more time down south than he might have expected after the late postponement. But he's been joined this week by James and by Ben, and clearly a very healthy squad now taking shape. Yeah,
it's added sort of depth in the areas that we're kind of really looking to do that in this early stage of the window. It was clear that further attacking options were needed, and you've got someone young, dynamic, bringing that pace to the team in Todd, and then those defensive reinforcements as well. Some exciting young talent there, and it'll be interesting to see what they'll bring over the next few weeks.
Greeny, did you feel for Todd a little bit? Because you can imagine, can't you, once he's made the loan move, I think he only signed on Friday morning, so he'll have been gearing himself up to go at Crawley, probably had a fair few family members ready to come and watch as well. All of a sudden then it's postponed, and it just built a bit of a pin in the balloon, isn't it, so to speak? It
is a little bit, but in a way we've got another week under his belt, how we want him to play. Obviously getting the structure, the key principles that we want in the games. So we've worked with him this week. So again, in some ways we've had that good training session into him, just so we can understand what we're trying to achieve and what we're trying to do into games.
2 new defenders brought in as well, in James and in Ben, and you look at it now, a couple more to come back in the next few weeks in Joseph and Ollie. Tommy Rowe can also fit in there not too far away. The numbers in there are looking incredibly healthy going into the second half of the season.
Yeah, you've just said it there, Robbie. It's looking really healthy, the squad, and you need a big squad to push people on, and that's what we've tried to do. We've tried to get 2 places for every position to really push people on, and the new additions have done exactly that. Particularly after Kyle Noyle's departure, Liam, that right back or right wing back role was an area that you felt would need strengthening towards the back end of the campaign to get a player of James Brown's calibre, his experience. He's got 20 odd games under his belt for Stockport on loan from Blackburn. Not very often that people with that sort of experience in this campaign come up at this time of the year. No, and that were important, having somebody who were kind of ready to go, as James is. He's played those games for Stockport earlier this season, but he's got plenty of games under his belt from his time in Ireland as well. So he's coming in, and you expect of all of them the one that will slot in the most seamlessly. Time for the latest quick-fire round now then, as Ben Close is next up in the hot seat.
Ben Close, 26. I was born in Portsmouth, raised there as well. Local team called Wimbledon Park Tigers. My dad was the coach. I had a couple really. Pompey were probably my number 1 team, and my dad's from Newcastle, so he was always trying to get me to lean towards that side. So yeah, I'd say Pompey and Newcastle. I think I had 2. It's hard to decide between them, and it was Xavi and Iniesta, just because of the position they played, and yeah, in Barcelona and Spain were obviously on top at the time, and I thought those 2 were the best midfielders in the world. Right now, probably Modric, because of how long he's been at the top of his game. I think you saw his quality in the World Cup and for Real Madrid last season, and he's just such a classy player, and for him to do it for that long is incredible. That would be against Tranmere, actually, a few years back at Fratton Park. A corner came in, and I think we had a shot that got blocked, or the keeper saved, and it fell out to the edge of the box, and I hit a sort of like a half volley sidewinder in it, and it flew into the top corner, and yeah, unbelievable scenes, and that's a goal I definitely won't forget. I've got a few. I had a really good group of young lads at Portsmouth that came through the academy together, and 1 or 2 that joined on in the sort of early professional years. So I've got a few. It's hard to pick one out, but a friend that I've known the longest is probably Connor Chaplin. I mean, we've played together since probably 13 years of age. He played up a lot. He's 1 year below me, but he played up a lot. We had tours abroad in France and Belgium at really young ages, and yeah, we're still obviously really good friends today. not a huge restaurant goer, but if it's out for a quick one, I do like Wagamama's. Yeah, Waggers. I had one recently, and it's I haven't had them before I came up to Doncaster, but Urban Burger do a good burger, so that's pretty nice after a game. Some people might not say it's a talent, but I like to think I'm all right at golf. Thoroughly enjoy it anyway, and obviously not been playing too much recently, but that's something I want to be playing soon, and the Masters will be coming up soon. So golf, just love it, and I think I'm all right. Golf, yeah, by a mile. I've just finished for the second time Game of Thrones because I wanted to watch it again before House of the Dragon, so I'll be watching that in the next few weeks. I'm not the man to ask about music. I think I like a little bit of most music, but probably sort of house and dance is probably my favourite. Watched a film the other night actually. The new one about the robot doll. I think it's called Megan. It was alright. Yeah, not a bad watch. I'd like to say Leo DiCaprio or Bradley Cooper, but they're probably a bit untouchable them. So maybe someone like Christian Bale. Yeah. Last holiday was in the summer just gone. I went to Norway for 4 or 5 days. Never been before, but I've got a friend in football who's from Norway and lives out there, and a few of us went out there, and it was incredible, brilliant country. I've been in trouble. If I needed to change careers, I'd like to go into coaching. I know it's similar to the current career, but if I had to drop being a player now, I'd try and get into coaching. The only obsession was footy, but I went through a spell when I was really young. I really enjoyed wrestling, so I can just remember playing with little figurines and playing in the ring that you build, and that's probably the closest thing to that. Time travel, I'd say. I'm not going to say anything about George Miller because it'll make his head massive, so that's one ruled out. Probably Big O's fitness and athleticism. He can run all day and incredibly fit, and that'd be great to have that engine.
Liam, particularly during his Portsmouth days, Ben Close scored some absolute rockets. His favourite just happens to be against this weekend's opponents, Tranmere, doesn't it? Some strike that at Fratton Park. We've seen his first goal for Rovers come now against Rochdale just before the new year, and certainly something he's got in his locker. Definitely,
that was a fantastic strike for Portsmouth that day against Tranmere. Hopefully Lightning can strike twice for him from that one, but another fantastic strike for him, getting off the mark for Rovers as well. You want that. That's what we've been, and Danny Schofield's mentioned it quite a bit about adding goals from different areas of the pitch. We've seen Harrison Biggins contribute on that front, getting Ben Close off the mark as well. That can only be a good thing.
Just how important has he been, Greeny, do you feel, in getting him back fit, but then keeping him fit as well? Because he was signed, and probably a marquee signing for League One, wasn't he? So to have him now performing week in, week out in League Two, he's right up there with the best in the division in his position.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, he's had a bit of a hard time when he's come here with injuries, but I know him as a lad and his work ethic, and he wants to get better and better every day. And you can see that he's coming to the team looking really good, and he's carried on that, and he's getting better and better as a player. And him and Big O have got a good chemistry in there, and you can see that they enjoy playing together, and it's starting to show on the pitch as well.
How important is a key partnership in the middle of the pitch? I mean, you know as well as anyone from your time here that the amount of central midfielders and quality during the promotion season in 2008, that was probably the key area of the pitch, wasn't it? And it seems like that again this time around.
Yeah, definitely. It's a massive plus when you've got two players with different attributes in there, with Closey with his passing range, and then you've got Big O with his energy and his goal scoring ability as well. Obviously Closey's looking to score more goals, which we want him to do as well, but it's good to have that chemistry between them, two different players, and you need that in a team.
Have you managed to pass much advice on? Have they come to you for little tips and pointers, given the success you had in your career in that position?
I do take Big O to the side, just helping him with his game and that. Obviously, work on closely with his set plays, his delivery. So if they do need me advice, I'm always there for them, and that's what I'm there for, just to help them out anytime I can.
Kyle Hurst was in attendance at the Utility Kids Cup this week, where the teams were battling out for a place in the final, which takes place ahead of Rovers' game against Tranmere this week. So Copley Junior School against Warmsworth Primary School will be the final here at the Eco Power on Saturday. Still a long way to go, Liam, but one of those teams could end up playing ahead of the League Two playoff final in May at Wembley. What an incentive that is to get another victory under their belt this weekend.
Yeah, it's an incredible sort of honour and achievement for these young players potentially to be playing at Wembley. I've been to a few playoff finals and seen these games beforehand, and the excitement levels there you can see them. And I know they'll be really excited today to this weekend to run out at the Eco Power as well and play on the pitch before the game. Yeah,
you'll have been at their age at one point, Greeny, playing games like this where you go into an arena and it'll probably look like Wembley when they play here, won't it? So all it'd be like, you've got a little boy yourself who's growing up through the age groups now, probably the biggest day of their young careers at least.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, as a young kid, I never got that opportunity really to play on a stadium like the Eco. Only through my professional career, I got to play at some great stadiums, but you can see how much they'll be buzzing to be in front of a crowd as well, and then a chance to play at Wembley.
The hope is, of course, that they'll be playing at Wembley and Rovers following on from them a couple of hours later. That'd be a great afternoon, wouldn't it, in May? That'd
be brilliant, and obviously that's what we're trying to achieve, if not automatic, but definitely a promotion through the playoffs.
On to Tranmere then, Liam, the next test. Less than a month since the last game between the two sides, and certainly one that the Rovers will want to forget about quickly, but also use as motivation going into this weekend.
We talked about it before the Carlisle game, in that that was just before Danny Schofield came in, and the away game against Carlisle and how much of a mark of it could be. It turned out to be a fantastic day here on New Year's Day, a fantastic performance, and there feels like there's an opportunity for that. As you say, quickly forget what happened on Boxing Day. It doesn't feel that long ago, but in terms of what's been produced since then, particularly with that great performance against Carlisle, the first half against Leyton Orient, Rovers seem to have kicked on a little bit, even in that short space of time, less than a month. So there's a real opportunity to put that one firmly to bed and get a fantastic result here on Saturday afternoon.
Has that been another frustration, Greeny, the fact that you win two games after the Tranmere defeat, you put in a good performance at Orient, albeit in defeat, and then it stop-start again, isn't it? You go a couple of weeks without a game. And even since Danny came in and yourself and Chad have been appointed, there hasn't really been, given the Christmas week as the exception, there's not been a consistent run of games to be able to get your teeth into.
It's a tough one, really. Obviously, around this time with the weather, there's going to be games called off. But when you've come off back of a victory against Carlisle, you want to really kick on. And like I say, we had a good performance against Leyton Orient in the first half, and a worldie goal that sees us losing the game really. It's a tough one to take, and you want to put that right as soon as possible. And to have the game called off, it messes with your preparation. But again, it's exactly the same for other teams, and we just got to get on with it, and we work on to the next game like we're doing now.
Just how much belief should the players take from that Carlisle win the last time they were here? Because Carlisle coming here a couple of points off the top three, flying. Rovers really, particularly first half, put them to the sword, didn't they? It could have been out of sight, closely at the crossbar, putting a performance where both on and off the ball they seem to be first to everything. Yeah,
and when the gaffers come in, obviously there's processes that he's wanting to put into place, and you can see how it's building and how more confident the players are getting with it. And that's the biggest thing. It's just the process moving forward, and you could see against Carlisle that it all came to fruition. And again, Leighton Orient, you could see the first half performance really produced a great performance in the first half, and like I say, a worldie goal that sees it, and that's how it is sometimes. But moving towards Tranmere, we owe them one. Obviously we lost 3-0 at their place, so it's going to be a tough game. We know that, but we're going to be prepared, and we've done the hard yards in training as well.
Liam, you could see the belief carried on from Carlisle in the first half at Orient, couldn't you? And Tranmere coming here, a side who had a good result after they beat Rovers. They went and beat Barrow on the road, but since then they've found a bit of a rocky patch as well. So this game this weekend really does represent another good opportunity to get yourself going on a bit of a run again.
Yeah, and I think we saw how Rovers started at Tranmere. The opportunity were there. You know, you feel like getting an early goal there would have been a completely different game, and. You know, you feel that because quite a bit went wrong that day, and there were quite some obvious areas for improvement, it'd be easier to learn from. We know how methodical the coaching staff are in picking apart the previous game and looking at that, and with it being so fresh in the mind, can go on and improve from that. But yeah, there's a great opportunity we're on the cusp of sort of 3 straight wins at home, which would be massive, and building that home form. And I fancy Rovers to be much improved from that previous game against Carlisle and get a good win this weekend.
Greeny, I suppose you as coaching staff this week, you're looking for the past 2 weeks worth of coaching where you haven't been able to get a game in between to really come to fruition.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, we work hard every week leading up to games, and nothing changes from this. Even when we've got cancellations, we're on to the next game. Like I say, we're working hard, really hard behind the scenes. Obviously, looking at Tranmere, but what's good about it, we've played them before, and we want to put the wrongs right from that game, and that's what we're looking to do this weekend.
I won't push you for a score prediction, but Liam, how do you see this one going?
2-0 this weekend to Rovers.
Emphatic. Greeny, Liam, thank you for your time. Thank you at home for watching on as well. Get down here to the Eco Power this weekend, the first home game for a while, as Rovers take on Tranmere.